Let's go ahead and get that round of applause going again for Miss Angela Sorrell, straight from Tyler, Texas, as she presents Fear is My Favorite Emotion. Thank you to sponsor Saddle Rock Reverse Mortgage.
Is bringing me to what I'm talking about today, fear, my favorite emotion. I am completely terrified of public speaking, so I thought it would be fun to speak at Ignite. Last time I spoke at coffee, I almost passed out. I saw stars, and I was praying I didn't fall out in front of everyone. We're gonna start again. Okay, so we're gonna start again? Can you start again? Because I'm not ready on the right one yet. Okay. Go. Okay, to be completely honest with you, can you tell I'm terrified right now? My heart is beating up to here. I'm sure my face is bright red, and hopefully I remember how to breathe. So that brings me to what I'm talking about today, fear, my favorite emotion. I'm completely terrified to public speak. And I thought it would be fun to speak at Ignite. Okay, so last time I told you at coffee I almost passed out. Well, Jason Lamro once told me that to step outside of your comfort zone, I totally got that wrong. You guys totally messed me up. So Jason, you know what you said. You said in order to grow, you have to step outside your comfort zone. So I've learned that I have to stay brave and strong. And if I do, then the sky's the limit. Fear isn't holding me back. I've seen people who are scared to try new things and go new places, and they're still in the same place when I first met them. I found tons of these motivational quotes, but this is a little misleading though, because life is scary. Obviously, you can tell. Making new friends, moving to a new town, starting a new job are all things that make you feel fear and anxiety. But don't be scared of fear. It's part of the process. If you're scared, then you know you're stepping outside of that comfort zone that's kept you in the same place you've always been. Learning, growing, and succeeding is the goal. At the age of 4, my mom took me on my first trip to California. I wasn't scared to fly on that big airplane all the way from Texas. Even back then, they said just how brave I was. I was a tough little tomboy. When I was little, my older brother needed me as protection when he needed to go outside and take the trash out in the dark. For some reason, he thought his little sister was scarier than anything that we would run into on the side of our house. So I've seen how being brave can influence other people. You never know who you're being a role model for or inspiration for in your life. Because I didn't let fear stop me, I've experienced so many things that I wouldn't have been able to experience, like jumping off the stratosphere or jumping out of an airplane. What normal person jumps out of a perfectly good airplane? Me. I went skydiving on my 25th birthday. My dad took me as a complete surprise. He didn't even have to ask me, he just knew I would love it. The only scary part was when the doors opened and my feet were dangling, the wind's blowing, and there's nothing there. I had about a second or two of fear, but after that it was amazing. After the parachute comes out and you're gliding down, it's so beautiful and peaceful. But that wasn't even the scariest thing I did when I was 25. The scariest thing was packing up my family and moving them halfway across the country. I remember that feeling driving out of the driveway. I was completely terrified. I was also terrified to go back to college after almost 20 years because I didn't know how to do algebra. What are all those letters? How the heck do you add and subtract a y? But I ended up getting a 96% and a 98% in Algebra 1 and 2. I had a complete irrational fear of algebra, and I let it hold me back for 16 years. And since then, I've completed my associate's degree, my bachelor's degree, and I have 7 more months to get my MBA. I was also terrified to quit my job and start my own business. In 2016, I became an entrepreneur. 3 years later, I absolutely love what I do, and I'm so happy. Sometimes the things that you're most afraid of are the ones that will set you free. When you feel fear, the hypothalamus triggers the physiological reaction of breathing hard, increased heart rate, sweaty palms, and dilated pupils. When you're in immediate danger, fear tells you to get to someplace safe. It's a natural reaction. That's a little bit about the physiological side, but my relationship with Jesus Christ is what keeps me brave in the midst of all these fears. I have faith that God will watch over me and guide me where he wants me to be. The phrase fear not is found in the Bible over 80 times. Other word pairings that are equal to fear not, like do not be afraid, do not fear, are used over 30 times. So that should tell you something. So what fear is holding you back? Make a list of your fears. Overcome them one by one. Life is short. Don't let some silly fear hold you back from living your greatest life. What are you scared of? If you're scared of sushi, go with somebody who knows sushi and try it. Start with maybe the baked or the fried ones, and then work your way up to the raw kind. At least you tried it. I know I was scared at first when I tried it, but now I love it so much I crave it. Being brave is not the absence of fear. It's overcoming it. So what could you do if you had no limits? What would you try? What could you accomplish? So, what fear are you going to overcome this year?